The luxurious atmosphere of the Indian Wells Tennis Garden has been set ablaze by a revelation so staggering that it has paralyzed the global tennis elite. A massive financial leak from the ticket office has left the sport's high society in a state of absolute and total disbelief. Internal records show that the legendary King of Clay, Rafael Nadal, completely bypassed his standard luxury player credentials to make a profound personal statement. Breaking news is spreading like wildfire that Nadal has taken an unprecedented path to prove his loyalty on the grandest stage of all. Reports confirm that Nadal personally shelled out $10,000 from his own funds just to guarantee a front-row vantage point for Alex Eala's first match. The cold reality is that the stadium was so completely packed that even the exclusive guest list reserved for tennis icons had been totally exhausted. Rather than calling in a favor for a free pass, Nadal reportedly informed the tournament organizers that he had no interest in a handout. He told them he wanted to pay for the distinct privilege of witnessing the future of the game, stating he would pay any price to support Alex. This $10,000 gesture carries massive implications for the entire sport, proving that this is about far more than just a financial transaction. It is a powerful symbolic endorsement that has reportedly left the Women's Tennis Association leadership feeling blindsided and frustrated. By choosing to sit in the stands, Nadal has effectively crowned Alex Eala as the undisputed main attraction of the entire tournament. The media center is currently in a state of total chaos as journalists realize the greatest warrior in the history of the game is now the primary champion for a 20-year-old from the Philippines. One veteran sports analyst was caught on a live microphone in a state of near panic, trying to process the magnitude of the moment. He shouted that when a man like Rafa pays $10,000 to watch you play, you are no longer just a prospect, you are a legend in waiting. The brutal truth is that Nadal is crushing the confidence of every seeded player by publicly choosing Alex over the rest of the field. The physical presence of the matador in the front row is already triggering a massive security crisis across the grounds of the tennis garden. Internal leaks suggest the security detail near the baseline has been tripled to handle the overwhelming wave of fans desperate to catch a glimpse of both the icon and the protégé. Tournament officials are reportedly in a state of seismic panic because they never expected a man of his stature to sit with the general public. They are frustrated that Nadal ignored the soundproof luxury of a private box in favor of a seat where he can truly feel the game. The raw truth is that Rafa wants to immerse himself in the intense acoustic fire of the Filipino fans who have gathered in force. He reportedly told his inner circle that he wants to be right in the heat of the action, where the heart of tennis is beating the loudest. This display of humble sovereignty has deeply moved millions of fans in the Philippines who see this as the definitive validation of their champion. While the Nadal Academy has maintained a total information blackout, insiders are calling this move a stroke of tactical brilliance. By placing himself in the front row, he is creating a massive psychological shield for Alex Eala as she prepares to face Dayana Yastremska. The harsh reality is that Yastremska now has to battle both Alex and the piercing, judgmental eyes of the greatest champion of all time, sitting just 5 feet away. The pressure on the opposing team has reached a boiling point, with reports that they are starting to crumble under the weight of the situation. They have reportedly begun to panic, lodging complaints with the chair umpire that Nadal's very presence is an act of intimidation against their player. However, the official response from the tournament is ironclad. Nadal is simply a paying customer with every right to be in his seat. The financial shockwave caused by this $10,000 ticket purchase has turned into a logistical nightmare for Indian Wells on this Saturday, March 7, 2026. While the Women's Tennis Association establishment was scrambling to offer Nadal a silent, air-conditioned suite, the King of Clay performed a masterpiece of humble defiance. Reports indicate that Nadal looked the tournament director in the eye and demanded they keep their champagne and their glass windows. He made it clear that he did not spend $10,000 to watch the action on a television screen from the sky. He told them he paid to hear the raw sound of the ball hitting her strings, an act that has completely crushed the ego of the corporate sponsors. The hidden truth is that Nadal wants to be in the trenches with the Filipino army, proving their bond is more than just business. This is a blood-bound mentorship that has now reached a nuclear peak just 30 minutes before the match was scheduled to begin. A massive leak from the underground corridors of Stadium 1 reveals that Nadal intercepted Alex Eala in the secret tunnel leading to the court. While the security team tried to maintain a sterile zone, they were reportedly left speechless as Nadal pulled Alex aside for a private 60-second briefing. Witnesses claim that Rafa was not just offering a simple hug for good luck, but was actively coaching her with intense hand gestures. He was reportedly showing her the dominant angles he wanted her to utilize against the power of her opponent, Dayana Yastremska. This clandestine tunnel encounter has left Women's Tennis Association officials fuming with frustration and total disbelief. They feel that having a legend like Nadal coaching from the shadows after buying a public seat is a psychological weapon that cannot be countered. The savage reality is that Alex is not walking onto that court as an individual. She is carrying the spirit of the matador with her. The panic in the rival camp has now escalated into a formal protest filed with the tournament leadership. Reports suggest that Yastremska's coaching staff has approached the umpire's office, demanding that Nadal be forcibly moved from the front row. They are absolutely fuming, claiming that his physical presence and his intense staring eyes constitute a form of illegal sideline coaching. But the official verdict from Indian Wells is a total reality check that the opponent was not prepared to handle. The ruling states that Nadal is a ticket holder and a fan tonight, and you cannot legally move a man who has paid $10,000 for his seat. This legal defeat has left the Yastremska camp in a state of pure terror as the match begins. Every time she looks toward the sideline, she will see the man who won 22 Grand Slams, watching her every move and waiting for her to fail. The pressure is no longer just a matter of sports competition, it has become something truly legendary and overwhelming. Inside the stadium, the Filipino army has realized that their king is sitting directly among them, and the acoustic pressure has doubled. Fans are reportedly in a state of panic, trying to move closer to Nadal's row to share in the historic moment. This has forced the elite private security contractors to form a human wall of protection around the Spanish icon. But the savage truth is that Nadal is clearly enjoying every single second of the chaos he has created. He was seen high-fiving fans from the Philippines, reportedly telling one of them that tonight they were all part of the same team. This display of unity has effectively turned Stadium 1 into an impenetrable fortress for the young protégé. The information blackout regarding what Nadal whispered to Alex in the tunnel is driving the tennis world into a state of madness. Everyone is asking if it was a technical secret or a savage mandate to seize control of the game once and for all. The legendary clock has finally struck the hour for the match to begin on this Saturday night, March 7th, 2026. As the acoustic fire of the fans reached a seismic peak, the world watched in awe as Rafael Nadal walked down the stairs of Stadium 1. Reports are flooding in that the information explosion was instantaneous as Nadal made his way to his seat. Instead of retreating behind the safety of tinted glass, the legend took his place just 5 feet from the baseline. The hidden truth is that his mere presence has created a vacuum of heavy silence in the rows immediately surrounding him. Fans were in a state of frantic excitement just to be near him, but Nadal's face remained a mask of sovereign concentration. He did not look like a casual spectator. He looked like a general observing his most vital soldier entering the field of battle. The savage reality is that Nadal's $10,000 seat has been transformed into a strategic command post for the evening. However, the most heart-wrenching and powerful moment occurred as Alex Eala stepped up to the service line for the first time. Before bouncing the ball, she reportedly paused, turned her head toward the front row, and made a profound gesture. Witnesses claim that Alex placed her hand firmly over her heart and gave a subtle, respectful nod directly to Rafael Nadal. This silent salute has deeply emotionalized the entire stadium, serving as a loyal acknowledgement of her mentor's support. It was a clear signal that everything she was about to do was for the man who mentored her at the Nadal Academy. The information blackout regarding the depth of their relationship was shattered in that single, poignant second. The Women's Tennis Association establishment is in a state of total shock, realizing this is a literal passing of the torch. Meanwhile, the panic in the rival camp has escalated to a nuclear level as they witness this bond in real time. Dayana Yastremska was seen staring in complete disbelief at the sideline, unable to comprehend the scene. Reports leaked that she complained to her coach that she felt Nadal was looking right through her, making it impossible to play. She asked how she could possibly focus when the matador himself was judging every single shot she attempted. The savage truth is that Nadal's focused eyes are acting as a psychological executioner for the opponent. He is not there to cheer. He is there to analyze every movement with cold, clinical precision. Every time Yastremska commits an unforced error, Nadal reportedly pulls out a small notebook and records an observation. This form of technical intimidation is completely dismantling the opponent's mental state before the first set has even concluded. The security detail is fuming because they have no grounds to stop a man from simply taking notes during a match. They realize they are witnessing high-level mental warfare that they are powerless to intervene in. But the hidden factor in this ongoing saga is the explosive reaction of the Filipino army in the stands. Seeing Nadal sitting among them has completely incinerated any sense of usual social boundaries or decorum. Fans are reportedly rushing to buy the exact same brand of bottled water that Nadal is drinking, causing a riot at the stands. The sovereignty of the entire tournament is now split between the queen on the court and the king on the sideline. The acoustic pressure is so immense that the chair umpire has been forced to call for silence 3 times in the first 2 games. But the question remains, how do you silence an entire nation that has its hero and its rising star in the same room? The information explosion across social media is total, with the hashtag #NadalConnection trending at #1 worldwide. The savage reality is that the Women's Tennis Association is panic-striking as they realize they have lost control of the narrative. This is no longer their tournament. It has become a total Nadal Academy takeover on American soil. One elite security contractor was overheard saying that he was no longer guarding a tennis match, but a royal coronation. The psychological siege inside Stadium 1 hit a nuclear boiling point on this Saturday night, March 7, 2026. As the first set reached a crucial deuce, the information explosion happened not on the court, but in the front row. Reports are going off that Rafael Nadal, sitting just 5 feet from the baseline, made a secret hand signal to Alex Eala. It was not a loud shout, but a sovereign adjustment of his own cap, a signal known only to the inner circle of the academy. The hidden truth is that Alex immediately changed her serve placement, catching Dayana Yastremska completely off guard. The savage reality is that Nadal is hacking the game from a $10,000 seat as if he were holding the racket. He is not just a spectator. He is a remote-controlled genius dismantling the opponent's strategy in real time. But the savage high point of this 4th act was the inevitable clash with tournament management. Witnesses leaked that the Indian Wells supervisor, under heavy pressure from the rival camp, was forced to approach Nadal. The panic in the supervisor's eyes was seismic, as he reportedly asked Nadal to stop gesturing toward the court. Nadal's response was a nuclear reality check that has left the entire establishment in a state of pure silence. Rafa reportedly looked him dead in the eyes and stated he was a fan who paid $10,000 to be there. He told the official that if he wanted to fix his cap, he would fix his cap, regardless of their concerns. He challenged them to find a rule that says a fan cannot breathe, effectively incinerating the supervisor's authority. The official was seen walking away, reportedly telling his team that he could not touch a king who was also a paying customer. We are now trapped inside the stadium as the Filipino army realizes a war of wills is taking place before them. The acoustic pressure has shifted from loud chanting to a deadly, focused silence that mirrors Nadal's intensity. The savage truth is that the fans are now following every single lead from the man in the front row. When Rafa nods, the 2 million-strong army roars. When Rafa stays still, the stadium becomes a total vacuum. The information blackout regarding these secret signals is driving the tennis experts in the broadcast booths insane. They are panic-striking while trying to analyze every microscopic movement of Nadal's hands and eyes. One commentator stated they were watching a Grand Slam champion coach, a protege, through optical telepathy. This has officially become the most expensive and most effective coaching session in the history of the sport. The locker room reaction from other players watching on the monitors has turned into a state of total despair. They see that Alex Eala has the ultimate shield, playing with the tactical brain of the matador himself. The savage reality is that Yastremska is now panic-striking on every point, looking at Nadal more than the ball. The psychological execution is almost complete as Alex continues to incinerate the scoreboard with sovereign grace. The Eala and Nadal connection is proving to be the most nuclear force in the landscape of modern tennis. The security detail is fuming because they have been ordered to back off from Nadal's row entirely. They finally realize that the sovereignty of this match belongs solely to the man in the front row. However, a hidden factor is emerging as reports leak that Roger Federer has reached out to the tournament. Federer reportedly sent a text asking for a dedicated live feed of Nadal's tactical reactions during the play. The entire world of tennis legends is now staring intently at Stadium 1 as history unfolds. The legendary clock has reached its final tick on this historic Saturday night, March 7, 2026. The psychological siege inside Stadium 1 has finally reached its absolute and savage conclusion. As Alex Eala stood at match point against Dayana Yastremska, the acoustic fire of the fans was overwhelming. Decibel monitors were reportedly panic-striking as the intensity of the crowd reached an all-time high. But the hidden truth remained in the front row where Rafael Nadal sat in a state of deadly silence. He did not cheer or stand. He simply stared at the court with an intensity that seemed to freeze time. When Alex struck the final hybrid cross-court winner to seal her victory, the stadium did not just erupt, it incinerated. The savage reality is that the Women's Tennis Association has officially lost its crown to a 20-year-old and her mentor. The information explosion happened seconds after the handshake, as the world processed the magnitude of the win. Reports are going off that the security detail was completely dismantled by a single sovereign command from the legend. Rafael Nadal did not wait for an invitation or permission to celebrate this monumental achievement. He reportedly hopped over the low front row barrier of the seat he had paid $10,000 for. He walked directly onto the court while officials stood by in a state of pure shock and panic. They were unsure if they should penalize him, but you cannot easily penalize a legend who is also a customer. Nadal walked straight to Alex, who was visibly overcome with emotion and starting to tear up. In front of 16,000 live fans and millions watching globally, Nadal delivered a savage 10-word statement. He reportedly whispered that the world is watching now and she must never let them see her blink. This 10-word mandate has nuclear implications, serving as a formal coronation for the young star. Nadal was telling Alex that the era of being a legend in waiting is officially over and her time is now. The information blackout from the Academy has been shattered by this profound physical act of support. Experts are fuming because they realize Alex Eala now possesses a mental armor that no opponent can pierce. She now carries the tactical brain of Nadal and the emotional shield of her entire nation. One prominent analyst noted that the $10,000 was not a ticket price, but a sovereign investment. Nadal did not just watch a match. He successfully launched a dynasty that will dominate the sport for years. As they walked off together, the acoustic pressure was so high, it registered as a micro-earthquake on local sensors.